you're right. Let me tell you, the situation in Balochistan, for the Baloch is alarming. There are everyday abductions, killing people, the Baloch people in their own land. They are victim of alien forces, and they do not have a common culture and traditions. They are occupying forces. Baloch are simply defending themselves. As far as the British government, they have responded to one or two of our letters, although they were diplomatic. But one good news is that we have to share with our audience here today. They have acknowledged this, that the extrajudicial killings in Balochistan are happening, and they have said, they have written to us, and they said they will press on that. But still, it's not enough. We have more to be done. And thank you very much. By the way, Stella has got all these 4 different leaflets here. Before you go, you should take one. And thank you for your support. And we hope you will continue supporting this.
I make the announcement that we have the launch is actually on Monday, the 20th of December in Garden Court Chambers. Okay. And of course, people are invited to come.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Stella. Now, may I request Madam Nancy Lashti and member of Sindhi Baloch Forum, coordinator of Sindhi Baloch Forum, for the national
So I'm here to talk about the martyrdom of Balach, and I will not take your time. I will just mention some of the points about the martyrdom of Balach Marri. Some 600 years ago, Balach became immortal in the history of Baloch nation by sacrificing or by fighting against all odds in order to preserve one of the cherished Baloch values. 3 years ago, another Balach became immortal by giving the ultimate sacrifice in order to preserve the dignity, the honor, and the independence of the Baloch nation. Why we here, some 1,000 miles away from Balochistan, are remembering Balach today? Or why Baloch all over the world remember Balach? They remember Balach because they believe that the martyrdom of Balach was the manifestation of their own dream of living a dignified and honorable life in their own motherland, free of all occupation and subjugation. One thing we must remember, that national liberation struggles at their own price. And in the process, in the long-term process of national liberation, there appears heroes, legendary figures, martyrs, and it is our duty, if we are not able to take the same path of our martyrs and heroes, but at least we can remember and we should cherish their goals for which they sacrificed their life. A famous English poet, Yeats, said, I think, to his, in one of his poems to his beloved that, "Tread softly, because I have laid my dreams in your path, in your way." Today, if we Baloch think of Balochistan, of the hills and deserts and fields of Balochistan, we also remember, and we must remember that Balach and thousands of Baloch martyrs have shed their blood in these desolate ways and paths. And I think the least we can do is to remember why they have shed their blood. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. It's our duty to remember our heroes, national heroes, like all other nations. And today we are obviously we were here to remember our great hero Balach. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, all of you here. Now at the end, I will request Mother Hybyair, who's presiding this gathering, to say a few words. Yeah? Thank you. One more.
Dear friends, we are here today not only to remember my brother Balach Marri, but also thousands of those Baloch martyrs who sacrificed their lives for our future. We are here to pay respect to those who are languishing in enemies' torture cells for daring to ask for freedom of Balochistan. We are here to salute thousands of those Baloch men, women, youth who stood up to truth and justice. Balach was my blood brother, but the youth are being killed are my ideological brothers. And I equally pay deepest respect to them for their patriotism, loyalty towards their homeland, Balochistan. Balochistan is going through one of the critical phases of its history. The immoral and coward enemy of Baloch nation has started indiscriminate killing of talented Baloch youth such as students, lawyers, doctors and social activists. The enemy's frustration can be judged by the mass murder of Baloch abducted activists in Balochistan and its continued denial of mass arrest of Baloch activists. We are facing an enemy, Pakistan, that has no decency, no value for human life or for human rights, and no respect for religion. The gruesome murder of 9 Baloch youth on Eid Day, followed by the discovery of a mass grave of 6 other Baloch youth, illustrates the psychological and ethical defeat of the enemy. At this crucial time and point of history, the Baloch people in Balochistan and outside Balochistan need to take a clear stand and unite for a clear purpose. We should not deceive either ourselves or our nation by chanting empty slogans. Unity is must, but for a clear vision. Baloch are sacrificing their lives not for provincial autonomy, not for a greater share in royalties, as some people put it, not for so-called self-determination. Our only demand is withdrawal of occupying forces from Baloch land and independence of Balochistan. I know self-determination is an internationally recognized term which gives a nation the right to choose what they want. The Baloch issue is, however, totally different because the Baloch had opted not to join Pakistan. They chose what they wanted, but that decision had not been respected, and Balochistan had been occupied against the will of the people of Balochistan. A negotiated and peaceful solution to Baloch issue is not impossible, but only under the auspices of international forces and only if Pakistan gives a time frame to withdraw its troops from Balochistan. If the occupying states continue their atrocities with impunity and the international community remaining silent spectators, Balochistan might just become another killing field like Srebrenica, Halabja, and Rwanda. We need to tell the civilized world loud and clear that we are struggling to regain our independence and that our people are facing death and destruction for asking for one of their basic human rights, freedom. The greatest way to respect Baloch martyrs is to educate the world about the struggle in clear words. Telling confusing stories about Baloch martyrs and distorting the fact tantamount to betrayal against the sacrifices of Baloch martyrs and their families. What I am trying to say is that Baloch martyrs gave their lives for nothing less than independent and democratic Balochistan, and that is what we all should aim for. Finally, I once again pay my humble respect to martyrs of liberation movement and those who are suffering at the hands of enemy for their peaceful democratic struggle for the freedom of Baloch land. These are words from Malcolm X. You can't separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless he has his freedom. Joy de Ajui Zinda.
Thank you for paying respect, tributes to our heroes and martyrs of Balochistan, Shaheed Balaach Marri. The message is right, blunt and clear. Nothing less than independent of Balochistan. Thank you very much on behalf of World Sindhi Congress and Baloch Human Rights Council for coming here and for your precious time. Murtaza, thank you for being with us. Nice of you.